Ladies and gentlemen, let us begin by dismantling a lie we've all been told, that others care about our every move, our every success, and our every failure. The truth is liberating but sobering. Nobody gives a damn. And that is your greatest blessing. When you realize that the opinions, judgments, and validations of others are mere shadows passing through your life, you are free. Free to live boldly, free to fail without fear, free to express without hesitation. I think about it, how often are you consumed with the details of someone else's journey? Rarely, if ever. The same holds true for them when it comes to you. But here lies the power. In this indifference, you gain autonomy. You no longer need to impress, to prove, or to be seen. Your worth is not tied to applause nor diminished by silence. You are the creator of your value, the sole architect of your reality. And imagine a life where you do not wait for recognition, where you act with conviction, because you know what you desire and who you are. That is the life waiting for you, once you let go of the need to be cared for by others. The truth is that this world moves swiftly. People are caught up in their own battles, their own dreams, their own desires. And that's okay. Their indifference is not an insult, it's an invitation for you to claim your power. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to hold your hand and walk you to your dreams. You must be the one who rises, who believes in the unseen, and who dares to create the world they wish to inhabit. In the silence of others' indifference, find your voice. In their apathy, find your strength. And when the world doesn't stop to notice you, remember, you don't need them to. You are enough, and your journey is your own. So go forward. Live boldly. Manifest unapologetically. Because in the end, the only one who must give a damn is you. And that, my friend, is all that ever mattered. In the vast tapestry of life, we often find ourselves yearning for validation, searching for a nod of approval, or hoping that someone will acknowledge our pain or applaud our triumphs. Yet the harsh but liberating truth is this: no one is obligated to care about your struggles or celebrate your victories. The world moves on, and so must you. Understanding this truth is not an act of resignation, but a profound realization of your own power. From an early age, we are conditioned to believe that our worth is tied to external affirmation. Parents, teachers, peers, and society often shape the idea that being seen and praised by others is the ultimate proof of our value. Over time, we carry this belief into adulthood, seeking constant reassurance from friends, colleagues, and even strangers. We post achievements online, waiting for likes and comments to flood in, as though these digital affirmations are the ultimate measure of success. But what happens when the applause dies down? What happens when the silence becomes deafening? For many, it brings doubt, fear, and an unsettling question: am I enough without their approval? The answer lies not in the external, but in the internal. No one can fully understand the depths of your journey, the silent battles you fight, the dreams that drive you, or the moments of resilience that go unnoticed. It's not their role to validate your existence or your efforts. This is not a reflection of their character, but a testament to the human condition. Each person is immersed in their own story, wrestling with their own struggles, and pursuing their own dreams. Their inability to focus on you is not neglect, it is simply the nature of life. This realization is where your liberation begins. When you stop relying on external validation, you take the reins of your own worth. You recognize that your value does not fluctuate based on others' opinions or attention. Whether someone applauds your success or ignores it, your accomplishment remains the same. Whether someone empathizes with your pain or walks past it, your resilience is unchanged. You are the constant in your story, the one who must stand firm when the world wavers. Learning to validate yourself is an act of self-love, self-trust, and self-respect. It begins by acknowledging your intrinsic worth, separate from external circumstances. You must remind yourself that your dreams are valid, your efforts are commendable, and your struggles are meaningful, not because someone else says so, but because you choose to believe it. You do not need a witness to justify your existence. Your very being is the evidence. This shift in perspective does not mean you should reject connection or community. Human relationships are vital, and sharing your journey with others can be enriching. However, it's essential to approach these interactions from a place of wholeness, not dependency. When you no longer seek others' validation, you allow relationships to flourish authentically, free from the burden of expectation. You engage with people as equals, not as judges or saviors. Self-validation also empowers you to take risks and pursue dreams unapologetically. Without the fear of external judgment, you can act boldly and authentically. You understand that failure is not a reflection of your worth but a stepping stone to growth. When you validate yourself, you create an internal sanctuary of confidence and resilience, impervious to the shifting tides of others' opinions. In moments of doubt, when you long for someone to notice your efforts or comfort your pain, remember this: you are the one who knows the full story. You are the one who witnessed every small victory, every quiet moment of strength, and every tear shed in solitude. Who better to honor your journey than you? Stand in front of a mirror and affirm your worth. Write down your achievements, no matter how small, and celebrate them. Hold space for your emotions without judgment. This is the work of self-validation, and it is a lifelong practice. The truth that no one is obligated to care about your struggles or triumphs is not meant to isolate you but to set you free. It invites you to step into your power and recognize that your value is not contingent upon the fleeting attention of others. When you validate yourself, you become unshakable, a force rooted in self-belief and authenticity. And in this state, you discover the profound beauty of living for yourself, not for the applause of the crowd. Freedom, true freedom, is not the absence of challenges or the presence of material wealth. It is the liberation of the soul from the chains of approval. For as long as you seek validation from others, you remain bound, tethered to a reality shaped by external opinions, judgments, and expectations. The moment you release yourself from this pursuit, you step into a life governed not by the shifting tides of others' perceptions, but by the unwavering compass of your inner truth. The desire for approval is deeply ingrained in the human psyche. It begins in childhood, as we learn to measure our worth through the eyes of those around us. A parent's praise becomes the marker of good behavior. A teacher's acknowledgement signifies achievement. Over time, this need for external validation grows, embedding itself into our choices, dreams, and even our sense of identity. We begin to live not for ourselves but for the applause of others, shaping our lives around what we believe will earn their acceptance. But what happens when that approval is withheld? What happens when the crowd turns away, indifferent to your efforts, or when their standards shift, leaving you chasing an ever-moving target? The answer is a life filled with anxiety, insecurity, and a deep sense of unfulfillment. For no matter how much approval you garner, it is never enough to sustain you. The moment you rely on others to define your worth, you hand over the key to your freedom. True liberation begins when you stop looking outward for affirmation and start turning inward for truth. Your inner truth is a reservoir of clarity and power, an unchanging guide that knows what is best for you even when the world does not. Living from this place requires courage, for it often means going against the grain. It means pursuing paths others might not understand, making choices that defy conventional wisdom, and embracing parts of yourself that others might reject. But in doing so, you reclaim your life as your own. To live from your inner truth is to honor the voice within you that whispers of your desires, your dreams, and your unique purpose. It is to trust that you are enough exactly as you are, without the need for others to validate your existence. This does not mean you shut yourself off from the world or reject relationships. It means you approach them from a place of wholeness, free from the need for approval. You are not seeking completion from others, for you are already complete. Self-reliance is the foundation of this freedom. It is the ability to stand firmly on your own, knowing that your worth is not dependent on external factors. This does not imply that you must do everything alone. Rather, it means you trust yourself to navigate life's challenges, to make decisions rooted in your truth, and to find fulfillment within, rather than expecting it to come from others. When you cultivate self-reliance, you become unshakable, a beacon of strength and authenticity in a world that often demands conformity. There is a profound beauty in living this way. You are no longer swayed by the opinions of others, no longer imprisoned by the fear of judgment or rejection. You become free to express yourself authentically, to take risks, and to follow your passions without hesitation. You discover that your inner truth is a far more reliable guide than the fleeting approval of others. And in this state, you find a deep, abiding sense of peace, for you are living a life that is truly your own. The path to self-reliance is not always easy. It requires unlearning years of conditioning, letting go of the need to be liked or admired, and confronting the fears that keep you tethered to the approval of others. But the rewards are immeasurable. With each step you take towards self-reliance, you free yourself from the limitations imposed by others. You begin to see the world not as a stage where you must perform for applause, but as a canvas where you can paint your own masterpiece. To live from your inner truth is to embrace your full power. It is to understand that freedom is not given to you by others, it is claimed by you through your choices, your beliefs, and your unwavering commitment to being authentically yourself. When you stop seeking approval and start trusting yourself, you step into a life of unparalleled freedom. This is the liberation of the soul, a life lived boldly, unapologetically, and entirely on your own terms. The power of assumption is a force that shapes your reality in ways you might not yet comprehend. At the core of this principle lies a profound truth: your world mirrors what you believe to be true about yourself. When you assume that your worth is inherent and independent of others' opinions, you unlock a level of freedom and empowerment that transforms your entire existence. The shift begins within, in the quiet space of your mind, where assumptions about yourself dictate the way you experience life. Many people live as though their value is conditional, dependent on the validation of others. They measure their worth by external markers, compliments, achievements, and the approval of those around them. This creates a fragile sense of self, one that rises and falls with the opinions of others. When praise is abundant, they feel worthy. When criticism or indifference appears, their confidence wavers. This cycle of dependency keeps them bound, unable to fully realize their potential or embrace their authenticity. But imagine for a moment that your worth was not tied to anything outside of yourself. Imagine that it was a constant, as unshakable as the sun in the sky. This is not a fantasy, it is a reality you can create through the power of assumption. When you assume that you are inherently valuable, deserving, and complete, regardless of external circumstances, you begin to embody this truth. And as you embody it, the world around you begins to reflect it. The principle is simple but profound. What you assume to be true becomes the foundation of your reality. If you assume that your worth depends on others' opinions, you will unconsciously seek evidence to support this belief. You may find yourself chasing validation, altering your behavior to please others, or feeling diminished when approval is withheld. On the other hand, if you assume that your worth is intrinsic and unwavering, you begin to carry yourself differently. You stop seeking external confirmation and start radiating confidence from within. This inner shift creates an outer shift. The way others perceive and interact with you changes because you have changed the way you perceive yourself. Assuming your worth is independent of others' opinions does not mean you become indifferent or arrogant. It means you no longer allow external judgments to dictate your sense of self. You understand that everyone sees the world through their own lens, shaped by their experiences, biases, and beliefs. Their opinions about you are not a reflection of your true worth, but of their own perceptions. When you internalize this truth, you free yourself from the need to prove anything to anyone. You are enough simply because you exist. This assumption empowers you to take risks, pursue your dreams, and live authentically. Without the fear of judgment, you are free to express yourself fully. You no longer hesitate to follow your passions or stand by your convictions because your confidence is rooted within. You understand that your worth is not up for debate, it is a given. This self-assurance creates a magnetic energy that draws opportunities, relationships, and experiences aligned with your higher self. Letting go of the need to impress others is one of the most liberating decisions you can make. It frees you from a cycle of superficial pursuits and redirects your energy toward building a life that genuinely fulfills you. When you realize that most people are far more focused on their own lives than they are on yours, the pressure to perform, please, or prove yourself dissolves. What remains is the clarity to live authentically, guided by your own aspirations and values rather than the fleeting opinions of others. The desire to impress is deeply rooted in human nature. It stems from an innate need to belong and to be valued within a community. But in modern society, this instinct has often been distorted into a relentless quest for validation. Social media, societal expectations, and cultural norms amplify this tendency, encouraging people to curate their lives in ways that appear impressive rather than authentic. The result is a hollow form of connection, built on appearances rather than substance, which ultimately leaves people feeling empty and disconnected. The truth is, most people are not paying as much attention to you as you think. They are consumed with their own concerns, their own dreams, and their own insecurities. Even when they do notice your efforts to impress, their judgments are fleeting and often forgotten. Recognizing this can be both humbling and empowering. It allows you to step back and ask yourself, why am I expending so much energy on this? What would happen if I stopped trying to impress others and started focusing on what truly matters to me? When you release the need to impress, you reclaim the energy that was once spent on maintaining appearances. You no longer feel compelled to wear masks, chase approval, or conform to expectations that do not align with your authentic self. This shift creates space for you to explore what truly brings you joy and fulfillment. It invites you to prioritize your well-being, pursue your passions, and nurture relationships that are built on mutual respect and understanding rather than superficial admiration. Letting go of this need also fosters a deeper sense of self-worth. When you stop seeking external validation, you begin to cultivate an internal sense of confidence. You realize that your value is not determined by how others perceive you, but by how you perceive yourself. This shift in perspective allows you to approach life with greater authenticity and courage. You are no longer bound by the fear of judgment, which liberates you to take risks, embrace vulnerability, and grow into the fullest version of yourself. Focusing on a fulfilled life rather than an impressive one requires a redefinition of success. Society often equates success with status, wealth, or accolades, things that are visible and measurable. But true success is deeply personal. It is found in the quiet moments of contentment, in the pursuit of meaningful goals, and in the relationships that nourish your soul. When you prioritize fulfillment over impressing others, you shift your focus from what will they think to what truly matters to me. This subtle but profound change transforms the way you live. Living a fulfilled life does not mean rejecting ambition or abandoning the desire for excellence. It means aligning your ambitions with your authentic self, rather than with the expectations of others. It means pursuing goals that resonate with your inner truth, rather than those designed to elicit approval. This alignment creates a sense of purpose and satisfaction that external validation can never provide. Releasing the need to impress also deepens your relationships. When you approach others without the burden of trying to prove your worth, you create space for genuine connection. People are drawn to authenticity they sense when someone is at ease with themselves. By letting go of the need to impress, you give others permission to do the same, fostering an environment of mutual acceptance and respect. The energy you once used to impress others can be redirected toward creating a life that reflects your deepest values and desires. Instead of striving to meet external expectations, you focus on nurturing your inner world. You invest in your growth, your passions, and your well-being. This shift not only enhances your own life, but also inspires those around you. For when you live authentically, you become a beacon of possibility, showing others that they too can let go of the need to impress and embrace the freedom of living true to themselves. Letting go of this need is not always easy. It requires courage, self-awareness, and a willingness to confront the fears that keep you tethered to external validation. But the rewards are immeasurable. You gain a sense of freedom, clarity, and peace that can only come from living authentically. You realize that your energy is best spent on creating a life that fulfills you, rather than impressing those who are too engrossed in their own lives to truly notice. This is the path to a life of depth, meaning, and lasting happiness. Indifference is often perceived as something cold or negative, yet when embraced with the right perspective, it becomes a source of immense power. The realization that nobody truly gives a damn about your failures, successes, or choices might initially feel disheartening. However, it is one of the most liberating truths you will ever encounter. Accepting this reality frees you from the shackles of seeking validation and empowers you to take risks, make bold decisions, and fully own your journey. Many people live as though the world is constantly watching, scrutinizing their every move. They hesitate to step out of their comfort zones, fearing judgment, rejection, or ridicule. But here's the truth: most people are too absorbed in their own lives to truly care about yours. They might glance at your successes or failures momentarily, but their attention quickly shifts back to their own concerns. This indifference is not a reflection of your worth, but simply a reminder of human nature. Everyone is the protagonist of their own story, and their focus rarely lingers on the details of others' lives. Understanding this creates a profound sense of freedom. If nobody is truly invested in your choices, what is stopping you from making the ones that resonate with your deepest desires? The fear of judgment begins to lose its grip, and you realize that the only person who needs to care about your journey is you. This shift in perspective allows you to embrace risks and pursue goals without the weight of others' expectations holding you back. When you stop seeking approval, you gain the courage to fail. Failure is often feared not because of the experience itself, but because of how others might perceive it. The thought of being judged or ridiculed can be paralyzing. But when you accept that most people are indifferent, failure becomes less daunting. It is no longer a public spectacle, but a private lesson, an opportunity to learn, grow, and refine your approach. This mindset encourages experimentation and innovation, as you are no longer constrained by the need to appear flawless. Embracing indifference allows you to own your journey fully. You stop living for others and start living for yourself. This doesn't mean you become selfish or disregard others' feelings. Rather, it means you prioritize your authenticity and align your actions with your true values and aspirations. You take responsibility for your choices, knowing that the path you walk is yours alone. This ownership brings a sense of empowerment and fulfillment that external validation could never provide. Turning indifference into power also helps you build resilience. Life is filled with challenges, and not everyone will support or understand your choices. But when you stop seeking external validation, you become less affected by criticism or rejection. You learn to trust your own judgment and find strength within. This inner confidence acts as an anchor, keeping you steady even when the external world feels uncertain or unsupportive. When you stop trying to win approval, you often gain respect. People are drawn to authenticity and courage. When you live boldly and unapologetically, you inspire others to do the same. Your actions become a testament to the power of owning your journey, and you may find that others begin to take notice, not because you sought their attention, but because your authenticity shines. This transformation begins with a simple but profound acceptance: nobody gives a shit. And that's okay. It is not your job to impress the world or live up to others' expectations. Your responsibility is to honor your truth, pursue your dreams, and create a life that fulfills you. When you embrace this mindset, indifference becomes a source of power, freeing you to take risks, grow through failure, and fully own your journey. The path ahead is yours to define, unencumbered by the fleeting opinions of others. True power and fulfillment come not from the world around you, but from the one you create within yourself. Many people spend their lives chasing external validation, craving acknowledgement from others, or seeking fulfillment through material accomplishments. Yet these pursuits often leave them feeling empty, for external approval is fleeting, and the satisfaction it brings quickly fades. What truly matters is the inner reality you cultivate: your thoughts, beliefs, and sense of self. This is where the foundation of lasting fulfillment and manifestation lies. The external world is a mirror of your internal state. The quality of your experiences is not determined by the circumstances you encounter, but by how you perceive and respond to them. If you focus on building a world of peace, confidence, and abundance within yourself, the external world will naturally reflect this harmony. However, if you allow your inner state to be dictated by the ever-changing opinions and actions of others, you surrender your power and become a prisoner of circumstances. Seeking attention or acknowledgement from others often distracts you from this inner work. The need for external validation creates a dependence on things you cannot control, leaving you vulnerable to disappointment and insecurity. No matter how much praise or recognition you receive, it will never be enough if your inner world is chaotic or lacking. True contentment arises when you no longer need others to confirm your worth, because you have already claimed it for yourself. To manifest from within, you must first become deeply acquainted with your inner world. This requires time and introspection, as well as a willingness to confront the fears, doubts, and limiting beliefs that may be holding you back. It is not an easy process, but it is essential for true transformation. As you cultivate a deeper awareness of your thoughts and emotions, you gain the ability to choose which beliefs to nurture and which to release. This practice strengthens your inner foundation and prepares you to manifest with clarity and intention. Imagination plays a crucial role in this process. The inner world you create through imagination is a preview of the life you wish to live. When you vividly picture your desires as already fulfilled, you create a powerful blueprint for your reality. This is not mere daydreaming, it is a deliberate act of creation. By repeatedly affirming and visualizing your desired outcomes, you impress these ideas upon your subconscious mind, which then works to bring them into being. Focusing on your inner world also deepens your sense of purpose. When you stop chasing external approval, you are free to explore what truly matters to you. You can pursue goals that align with your values and passions, rather than those designed to impress others. This alignment brings a sense of authenticity and fulfillment that external recognition can never provide. When you manifest from within, you also cultivate resilience. Life is unpredictable, and external circumstances will not always align with your expectations. But when your inner world is strong and stable, you are better equipped to navigate challenges and setbacks. You understand that your power lies not in controlling the outside world, but in maintaining your inner peace and clarity, no matter what unfolds around you. The world you create within determines the quality of your life. External attention and acknowledgement may bring temporary pleasure, but they are not the source of lasting fulfillment. What matters is the inner reality you cultivate, the beliefs, visions, and feelings you choose to nurture. By focusing on your inner world, you reclaim your power to manifest a life of purpose, joy, and abundance, independent of the fleeting opinions of others. This is the true essence of freedom and creation, building a reality from the inside out. In conclusion, the essence of this message is simple yet profound. Your life is your creation, born from the depths of your inner world. Chasing external validation, impressing others, or fearing their indifference only leads to a cycle of dissatisfaction. True power lies in liberating yourself from these illusions and aligning with your authentic desires. When you stop seeking approval and start living boldly from your truth, you unlock the freedom to create a life filled with purpose, fulfillment, and joy. The world you imagine within is far more important than the fleeting opinions or attention of others. Embrace indifference as a gift, turn it into strength, and focus your energy on manifesting the life you envision. Your worth has never been dependent on others. It's yours to claim here and now. Thank you for embarking on this journey of self-realization and empowerment. May you walk forward with confidence, knowing that the life you desire is already within your reach. What does it mean to be chosen? It means you have the power to shape your world. The universe does not hand this role to just anyone. It calls on those who are ready, those who can hear the whispers beneath the noise of daily life. And you heard it, that's why you're here. The desires stirring within you are not arbitrary. They are divine instructions planted in your heart to guide you toward your destiny. Do you feel it? That deep pull towards something greater, something extraordinary. That is your calling. And if you dare to trust it, you will find that the entire universe bends to your will. You may wonder, why me? Why not you? The power to create has always been within you, but only now are you awakening to it. There are no coincidences, no chance encounters. Everything in your life has led to this moment. Every joy, every challenge, every tear, it was all preparation. But let me be clear, the power of the chosen one comes with a requirement. You must step into your role fully without hesitation. The first step, see yourself as you wish to be. Not as the person others think you are, but as the magnificent creator you are destined to become. Act as if your vision is already real. Feel it, breathe it, live it. Doubt will knock at your door, it always does, but you must silence it. The only thing standing between you and the life you desire is your own disbelief. Trust in the unseen forces working tirelessly in your favor. Take a deep breath and consider this: there are no coincidences in the universe. Everything in your life has been orchestrated with divine precision, each moment a step in a grander design. If you found this message, it is not by chance, it is because you were meant to hear it. Something within you has called you to this exact moment, and the universe has responded. Whether you are aware of it or not, every thought, every action, and every experience is aligned to bring you here. Think about the twists and turns your life has taken. The moments of joy, the heartbreaks, the triumphs, and even the struggles, they have all played their part in shaping you into the person you are today. Perhaps there were times when you felt lost, questioning why certain things happened the way they did. Yet if you look back with an open heart, you may see that every setback carried a lesson, every detour a hidden blessing. These moments were not random, they were stepping stones guiding you toward a greater purpose. You are here now because you are ready to awaken to that purpose. Something deep within you has been whispering, urging you to seek more, to seek meaning, connection, and truth. That whisper is not a mere thought, it is the voice of the universe speaking to your soul. It has guided you through countless experiences, subtly orchestrating the events of your life so you could arrive at this very moment, ready to hear this message. The universe operates in ways that often seem incomprehensible, weaving together people, events, and circumstances in intricate patterns beyond our understanding. The person you sat next to on a train, the book you stumbled upon, the seemingly insignificant decisions you made, all of these threads are interconnected, forming a tapestry that is uniquely yours. You are not here by accident, your presence here is part of that divine tapestry. The words you are hearing now are not random. They are a key, unlocking something within you that has always been there but was waiting for the right moment to be revealed. It's easy to dismiss certain events in our lives as mere happenstance. But when you begin to pay attention, you will notice the synchronicities, the subtle ways the universe communicates with you. A song playing at just the right moment, a conversation that speaks directly to what you've been feeling, or a message like this one finding its way to you when you need it most. These are not coincidences, they are signs, reminders that you are on the right path. You might be wondering why you were led here, why this message found you. The answer is simple yet profound: because you are ready. Ready to embrace your power, to recognize that you are a co-creator of your reality, and to step into the fullness of who you are meant to be. The universe has been preparing you for this moment, aligning every detail of your journey so that you could hear these words and know deep within that they are meant for you. What you do with this realization is up to you. You can choose to dismiss it, to continue as though life is a series of random events. Or you can choose to embrace the truth that everything happens for a reason, that you are being guided towards something greater. This message is not just a coincidence, it is an invitation. An invitation to step into your power, to trust in the unseen forces that are working in your favor, and to take the next step on your journey with faith and confidence. You are not here by accident. You are here because you are ready to awaken to your purpose, to see the divine perfection in every moment, and to trust that the universe is always conspiring for your highest good. Let this truth sink in. There are no coincidences. You are exactly where you are meant to be. Take a moment to reflect on the extraordinary truth that the power to shape your life is not something you must search for outside yourself. It has always been within you, waiting for you to recognize it. Everything you experience, every joy, challenge, or opportunity, originates not from the external world, but from the beliefs, thoughts, and visions you hold within your mind. You are the creator of your reality, and what you imagine with conviction becomes the life you live. From the moment you were born, this power has been a part of you, quietly influencing your journey. Yet so often people live as though they are at the mercy of circumstances, as though life is something that happens to them rather than something they are actively shaping. This misconception arises from looking outward for answers, searching for validation or direction in a world that merely reflects the contents of their inner state. Consider this: the life you see around you is like a mirror, showing you the sum of your dominant thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. If you constantly dwell on lack, struggle, or fear, these experiences will manifest and multiply in your reality. Not because the world is inherently harsh or unkind, but because the universe is responding to the energy you are radiating. It simply echoes back to you what you hold as true. On the other hand, when you imagine abundance, peace, and joy with unwavering belief, these become the themes of your existence. The key to harnessing this creative power lies in your imagination. Imagination is not just a fleeting daydream or a tool for idle fantasy, it is the workshop of creation. Every great achievement, every breakthrough, and every transformation began as a thought, vividly imagined and held with conviction. When you see yourself as the person you wish to become, when you feel the emotions of having already achieved your desires, you set powerful forces in motion. The universe begins to rearrange itself, aligning circumstances, opportunities, and people to bring your vision into physical form. But this process requires more than fleeting thoughts or wishful thinking. It demands a deep, inner conviction and knowing that what you imagine is as real as the ground beneath your feet. Faith is the bridge between the invisible and the visible, the unseen and the seen. When you align your inner world with the reality you desire, when you live and act as though it is already yours, your outer world will inevitably conform. Doubt and fear are the only obstacles that can disrupt this process. They are the voices that tell you it's impossible, that you're not worthy, or that circumstances are beyond your control. But these voices are illusions, born of past conditioning and false beliefs. They hold no real power unless you give it to them. When you learn to silence those doubts and replace them with unwavering faith in your creative ability, nothing can stand in your way. It's important to remember that your power to create is always active, whether you use it consciously or not. Every thought you entertain, every emotion you dwell on, is shaping your reality. The question is not whether you are creating, but what you are creating. Are you building a life of fulfillment, purpose, and joy? Or are you unconsciously perpetuating patterns of limitation and struggle? The choice is always yours, and the moment you decide to take control, your entire life can change. The world around you is malleable, a reflection of your inner state. It is not fixed or unyielding, it responds to the energy you project. You are not a victim of circumstances, nor are you bound by the limitations others may impose on you. You have the ability to transcend any obstacle, to rise above any challenge, simply by shifting your focus inward and aligning your thoughts with the reality you wish to experience. This is the profound truth: you are the creator of your reality. The power to shape your life is not something external, it is within you, as close as your next thought. When you imagine with conviction, when you feel the certainty of already having what you desire, you set the wheels of creation in motion. Trust in this process and you will witness the extraordinary power you hold. The life you dream of is not far away, it is within you, waiting to be brought to life. Your desires are not arbitrary whims or fleeting fantasies, they are profound signals from the universe, guiding you toward the person you are meant to become. They arise not by chance but with divine purpose, serving as whispers from the infinite, urging you to step into your true role. To dismiss your desires as trivial is to overlook the sacred guidance embedded within them. These longings are the compass of your soul, pointing you toward growth, fulfillment, and the realization of your highest potential. It is important to understand that your desires are not selfish or indulgent. They are divine impulses meant to inspire and uplift you. The longing for abundance, love, creativity, or purpose is not simply about achieving something external. It is about the transformation that occurs within you as you pursue these goals. In reaching for what you desire, you evolve, grow, and step into greater alignment with the truth of who you are. When you feel a deep yearning for something, it is a sign that it is already possible for you. The universe does not plant desires in your heart without also providing the means for their fulfillment. The very fact that you can imagine it is evidence that it exists as a potential reality. Your role is to nurture that seed, to believe in it, and to align your actions with the vision it represents. This is how you co-create with the universe, turning what begins as an inner whisper into a tangible experience. Yet, so many people resist their desires. They let doubt, fear, or societal expectations convince them that their dreams are unrealistic or unworthy of pursuit. They suppress their longings, telling themselves it is safer to settle for less. But the truth is, ignoring these divine signals only leads to stagnation and dissatisfaction. The discomfort you feel when you deny your desires is the universe's way of nudging you back onto your path. It is a reminder that you are meant for more, that there is untapped potential within you waiting to be realized. To embrace your desires is to honor the divine within you. It is to acknowledge that you are a vessel for creation capable of bringing forth beauty, joy, and abundance into the world. This does not mean chasing after fleeting pleasures or material possessions without purpose. True desires go deeper than surface level wants. They resonate with your core being, inspiring you to live with passion, intention, and authenticity. As you move toward your desires, you will encounter challenges. These are not meant to discourage you, but to strengthen you, to help you refine your vision and cultivate the faith needed to bring it to life. Every obstacle is an opportunity to grow, to deepen your trust in the process, and to reaffirm your commitment to your path. The universe does not test you to punish you, it tests you to prepare you for the magnitude of what you are creating. Your desires are divine signals, and they carry with them the promise of fulfillment. When you honor them, you step into alignment with the flow of life, where everything you need begins to find its way to you. The people, resources, and opportunities that support your vision will appear, often in ways that seem miraculous. This is not luck, it is the natural result of living in harmony with your purpose. Do not ignore the whispers of your soul. They are not there to tease you, but to guide you, to remind you that you are a powerful co-creator in this vast universe. Trust the desires that stir your heart, for they are the roadmap to your greatest life. Believe in their divine origin and move toward them with faith, courage, and joy. In doing so, you will not only transform your life, but also fulfill the sacred role you were destined to play. The present moment is the most powerful tool you possess. It is not merely a fleeting instance in time, but a dynamic canvas upon which you paint the masterpiece of your life. Each thought, feeling, and belief you hold in this moment becomes the seed of tomorrow's reality. The choices you make, the focus you maintain, and the energy you embody right now are shaping your future in ways both seen and unseen. To understand this is to unlock the profound truth that you are the creator, and your life is your creation. Many people live as though the present moment is insignificant, placing their attention either on the past, which cannot be changed, or on the future, which has not yet arrived. They let regret, fear, or uncertainty cloud their awareness of the now, forgetting that the present is the only place where true power resides. The past is but a memory, and the future is a projection neither has substance except what you give them in your thoughts. The present moment, however, is alive, vibrant, and pregnant with possibility. It is the eternal now where your creative power resides. Whatever you focus on now determines what manifests tomorrow. If you dwell on thoughts of lack, fear, or limitation, these will find their way into your reality, not because the universe is harsh, but because it faithfully mirrors the energy you project. Similarly, if you choose to focus on abundance, love, and the feeling of already having what you desire, the universe will conspire to bring these experiences into your life. This is not a passive process, but an active one, requiring conscious awareness and deliberate intention. Begin to see yourself as the chosen one, for indeed you are. You are chosen not in the sense of superiority over others, but in the sense that you possess within you the power to shape your destiny. This realization is the key to unlocking your potential. When you see yourself as the chosen one, you carry yourself differently. You begin to expect success, fulfillment, and joy, and these expectations, held with conviction, become self-fulfilling prophecies. To live as the chosen one is not about arrogance, but about alignment. It is about recognizing that you are inherently worthy, that the universe supports you, and that everything you desire is already available to you in the unseen realm. Your role is to align your thoughts and feelings with this truth, to act as though it is already so, and to trust the process. This alignment creates a resonance between you and your desires, drawing them into your experience effortlessly and naturally. The present moment offers you infinite opportunities to realign, to choose differently, and to focus on what you wish to create. If you find yourself consumed by doubt, fear, or negativity, remind yourself that you have the power to shift. In an instant, you can redirect your focus toward what uplifts and inspires you. This is the beauty of the present moment. It is ever renewing, giving you endless chances to create anew. Imagine yourself already living the life you desire. Feel the emotions of fulfillment, joy, and gratitude as though it were already yours. This act of imagination is not mere daydreaming, it is the creative process in its purest form. When you engage with these feelings deeply and consistently, you begin to embody the energy of the life you wish to create. The universe, in turn, reflects this energy back to you in the form of people, opportunities, and circumstances that align with your vision. You will understand that the present moment is neutral until you give it meaning. It does not impose limitations or conditions, it simply responds to your focus. If you view this moment as a gift, as a blank canvas upon which you can paint your desires, you will begin to see its limitless potential. Conversely, if you see it as a burden, filled with obstacles and constraints, you will find these reflected in your experience. The choice is always yours. As you move through your day, practice mindfulness and intentionality. Notice the thoughts you entertain and the emotions you cultivate. Are they aligned with the reality you wish to create? If not, gently redirect them. Treat each moment as an opportunity to reaffirm your role as the chosen one, the creator of your life. Speak to yourself with kindness and encouragement, for the words you use carry power. Declare your worthiness, your capability, and your readiness to receive all that you desire. When you embrace the present moment as your canvas and see yourself as the chosen one, you transform not only your perception of life, but life itself. Reality begins to shift in ways that seem miraculous, yet these miracles are the natural result of living in alignment with your creative power. Trust in this process, and know that every masterpiece begins with a single brushstroke. The life you envision is waiting to be painted, one deliberate, inspired moment at a time. Doubt is the only enemy that stands between you and the extraordinary life you are destined to live. It is the silent saboteur, the inner voice that questions, undermines, and hesitates. Yet doubt has no power of its own. It thrives only when you grant it authority over your thoughts and emotions. To reclaim your power, you must recognize doubt for what it truly is, a shadow of fear, a fleeting illusion that dissolves in the light of faith. Doubt, on the other hand, is the voice that says, what if it doesn't happen, or what if I'm not capable? It pulls your focus away from your vision and directs it toward fear, scarcity, and limitation. The danger of doubt lies in its ability to create a self-fulfilling prophecy. The more you entertain it, the more it shapes your reality, not because it is true, but because your energy flows where your attention goes. If you focus on doubt, you strengthen it. If you focus on faith, you transcend it. To release doubt, you must first understand its origins. Doubt often arises from past experiences, societal conditioning, or fear of the unknown. These influences create a narrative in your mind, a story that says you are not enough, that success is for others, or that the universe is indifferent to your desires. But these stories are not truths, they are interpretations. You have the power to rewrite them, to choose a narrative that empowers you rather than limits you. One of the most effective ways to overcome doubt is to anchor yourself in the present moment. Doubt thrives in the future, in the endless what-ifs that pull you away from the now. But the present moment is your sanctuary, the place where your power resides. When you bring your awareness to the here and now, you quiet the noise of doubt and connect with the stillness of your inner being. In this state, you can hear the whispers of your intuition, the gentle guidance that assures you all is well. Another way to dissolve doubt is to cultivate gratitude for what is already unfolding in your life. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance, from fear to trust. When you appreciate what you have, you create a vibration of receiving, opening the door for more blessings to flow into your experience. Gratitude is a powerful antidote to doubt, because it reminds you that the universe has already provided for you in countless ways and will continue to do so. Trusting the process is essential. The path to your desires is rarely a straight line, it is a journey of growth, discovery, and alignment. Along the way, there may be moments of uncertainty, but these are not signs of failure. They are opportunities to deepen your faith, to reaffirm your vision, and to align more fully with the energy of what you seek. Trust that every delay, detour, or challenge serves a purpose, preparing you for the fulfillment of your dreams. You must also learn to act as if your desires are already yours. This is not about pretending or forcing, but about embodying the energy of fulfillment. When you feel the joy, gratitude, and confidence of already having what you want, you create a magnetic pull that draws your desires to you. Doubt cannot coexist with the energy of certainty. The more you practice living from a place of faith, the weaker doubt becomes until it fades entirely. Let go of the need to control every detail. Doubt often arises from a lack of trust in the timing and methods of the universe. But the how and when are not your concern. Your role is to hold the vision and take inspired action. The universe has its own divine order, a flow that is always working in your favor, even when it seems otherwise. Trust that everything is unfolding perfectly, even if you cannot yet see the full picture. Doubt is not your enemy because it exists. It is your enemy only when you believe it. You have the power to choose faith over fear, trust over hesitation, and creation over limitation. Each time you do, you strengthen your connection to the extraordinary. Release doubt, embrace faith, and trust the process. The universe is always conspiring in your favor, and your dreams are already on their way to you. All you need to do is believe. Gratitude is the key that unlocks the flow of blessings into your life. It is not merely an act of politeness or a fleeting moment of appreciation. It is a powerful spiritual practice that aligns you with the infinite abundance of the universe. Gratitude is a recognition of the abundance already present in your life, a conscious acknowledgement that everything you have, no matter how small or insignificant it may seem, is part of the divine orchestration supporting your journey. When you cultivate gratitude, you magnify this alignment, creating a magnetic pull for even greater blessings to manifest. The practice of gratitude begins with awareness. Many people move through life focusing on what they lack, what they have yet to achieve, or the challenges they face. This focus on scarcity creates a vibration of lack, which the universe mirrors back. But when you shift your focus to what is already present, you change the energy you project. Gratitude is a declaration that you recognize the abundance in your life, and in doing so, you invite more of it. It is an act of faith, a signal to the universe that you are ready to receive more because you value what you already have. Gratitude has a magnifying effect. When you express genuine appreciation, you amplify the energy of what you are grateful for, drawing more of the same into your experience. This is not a passive process, it is a deliberate choice to see the good in every situation, to find the blessings even in the challenges. The more you practice gratitude, the more you will notice the abundance around you, and this awareness creates a ripple effect, attracting even greater abundance into your life. To cultivate gratitude, start with the simple things. Each day, take a moment to reflect on the blessings in your life. These could be as basic as the air you breathe, the roof over your head, or the food on your table. They could be as profound as the love of family and friends, the lessons learned from difficult experiences, or the opportunities that have come your way. By focusing on these gifts, you train your mind to see abundance rather than lack. Gratitude is also deeply connected to the present moment. When you are grateful, you are fully present, immersed in the here and now. You are not dwelling on the past or worrying about the future, you are engaged with the beauty of this moment. This presence is a powerful state of being, for it is in the present that your creative power resides. Gratitude grounds you in the now, where you can fully appreciate the richness of life and tap into the limitless potential of the universe. Gratitude is not just a feeling, it is a way of being. It is a choice to live in alignment with the abundance of the universe, to see every moment as a gift, and to trust that you are always supported. The more you embody this state, the more you will find to be grateful for, and the more the universe will respond in kind. Recognize that your desires are not random, they are sacred signals guiding you toward your purpose. See the present moment as a canvas where your thoughts and emotions paint the reality of tomorrow. Release doubt, for it is the only barrier between you and the extraordinary. Above all, embrace gratitude as the key that unlocks infinite blessings, amplifying your connection to the abundance that surrounds you. As you walk forward, know that you are supported by the unseen forces of the universe, which conspire in your favor. Trust the process, hold your vision, and act as if your dreams are already realized. In doing so, you align with your highest potential and allow miracles to unfold effortlessly. Thank you for allowing these words to touch your heart and mind. May they inspire you to live boldly, dream expansively, and create a life that reflects the greatness within you. You are chosen, and your journey has only just begun. Have you ever looked back at a year and felt like it was wasted? Maybe things didn't go as planned, or you faced unexpected struggles, and it felt like you were stuck in a cycle that never moved forward. But what if I told you that, even after all the challenges, your year isn't wasted? That the difficulties you faced are not setbacks, but a prelude to something greater? This video is for those who have gone through trials, endured the unknown, and wonder if there's hope for recovery. Today we are going to talk about 7 signs that God is about to restore your wasted year. God doesn't work in the way we expect or within the timelines we set for ourselves. He is working behind the scenes even when we can't see it. Restoration isn't just about turning back time, it's about redeeming what's been lost and positioning you for something better than you imagined. This is not about waiting for things to happen, it's about recognizing the signs and stepping into the truth of what is already on its way. Let's dive into these 7 signs and unlock the powerful transformation God is about to bring into your life. You're standing in the midst of a storm. Everything around you feels like chaos, your dreams, your hopes, even your plans seem shattered. But deep within you, there's a quiet stirring. It's a knowing, not a belief, but a deep certainty that the storm will pass, and what follows will be greater than what came before. For the longest time, you may have felt as though the years slipped away, like you missed out on opportunities and your life is stuck in neutral. But here's the truth: nothing is ever truly wasted in the divine plan. What may appear to be wasted time is often preparation for something far greater than you can imagine. You see, God works in ways that transcend our understanding of time. While we're caught up in the ticking of the clock, He is orchestrating a much grander masterpiece. And right now there are signs all around you that God is about to restore what was once lost. Maybe you've been struggling in your career, your relationships, or your spiritual walk. Maybe the past year feels like it was marked by frustration and unmet expectations. But what if this is the moment when everything begins to shift? What if the things you thought were wasted were actually the building blocks of your future? I want you to stay with me for a moment longer, because what I'm about to share could change your perspective forever. You're about to see that the struggles you faced, the setbacks and the hardships were not in vain. They were part of a divine preparation, and what's coming next is something far greater than you could have ever imagined. The signs are everywhere, you just need to be able to see them. Are you ready to discover these signs? Are you ready to understand the hidden messages that have been placed before you? Let's look at the 7 signs that God is about to restore what you thought was a wasted year. You've likely experienced the feeling that something is shifting within you, a desire for change that you can't quite explain but can't ignore either. It's as if the life you've been living is no longer enough, as though your soul is calling for something more, something better. This yearning can be unsettling, even confusing at times, because it feels like a disruption in your current reality. But what if this growing desire for change isn't random? What if it's not just a fleeting thought, but a divine sign that God is preparing you for something greater? Often when people find themselves feeling stuck, they question why their circumstances seem so difficult. But a deep internal desire for change is not just about dissatisfaction, it's a sign of transformation in the making. This desire may have been building for weeks, months, or even years. You might have been living in the same routine, experiencing the same struggles, yet something inside of you began to stir. It started as a thought, maybe a whisper, something small like there has to be more to life than this. And then it began to grow louder. Soon you can't ignore it anymore. It's a craving for a better life, for something deeper and more meaningful. What you're experiencing is a divine push, a subtle yet powerful call to move beyond your current situation. This desire for change is the first sign that God is preparing you for restoration. He is placing within you the urge to move forward, to reach beyond the limits that you've placed on yourself, and to break free from the patterns that have kept you stagnant. The desire isn't there to frustrate you, it's there to inspire you to take the next step into the life you've been created for. As you begin to notice this inner urge, you may feel fear or uncertainty. After all, change can be intimidating. The familiar comfort of your current circumstances, even if they're not ideal, can feel safe compared to the unknown. But this desire for change is an invitation to trust that God is leading you to something far better. It's as if He's softly nudging you forward, encouraging you to step out of your comfort zone, to leave behind the limitations of your past, and to embrace a future full of possibility. Perhaps up until now you've been held back by past disappointments, failures, or heartbreaks. These past events may have left you feeling stuck, as if the years have slipped away without much to show for them. But when you begin to feel that increasing desire for change, it's a sign that you're no longer bound by the past. God is preparing you to let go of old wounds, old habits, and even old relationships that no longer serve you. The desires within your heart are God's way of calling you to move forward, to step into the next chapter of your life with faith and anticipation. This desire for change can also come in the form of dissatisfaction with your current circumstances. Maybe you're tired of feeling unfulfilled in your work, Or perhaps you're longing for a deeper sense of peace in your relationships. Maybe you're feeling disconnected from your spiritual path or like your personal growth has plateaued. All of these feelings are part of the divine process of preparation. They're not signs that something is wrong with you, but that God is stirring within you a desire to grow, to evolve, and to reach higher. These feelings are signs that you are ready for a shift. Your soul is awakening to the next phase of your journey. God is never inactive in our lives, even when we don't see it. The growing desire for change that you feel is His way of guiding you. He knows exactly what you need even when you don't. This desire isn't random, it's intentional. It's God calling you to step into a life that's more aligned with your purpose, a life that reflects your true potential. You may not have all the answers now, but trust that this deep desire for change is the beginning of something new. It's a signal that God is about to restore what you thought was wasted time, and He's preparing you to walk into a season of fulfillment and abundance. As you honor this inner calling and allow it to guide you, be assured that the change you seek is already on its way. It might not come in the way you expect, and it might require you to step into the unknown, but remember that God is leading you. He is restoring what has been lost, and through this desire for change, He is preparing you to embrace the abundant life He has already planned for you. The journey ahead might seem uncertain, but with faith in the process and trust in the divine timing, you will soon see that this desire for change was the spark that ignites your restoration. There comes a point in every person's life when everything seems to shift, often without warning, as if something deep within you has been unlocked. One day you find that your thinking has changed, and your perspective on life has suddenly expanded. It's a sudden shift in your mindset, a transformation that can feel both subtle and dramatic. What once felt impossible now seems achievable, and where you once saw obstacles, you begin to notice opportunities. You find yourself thinking differently, feeling differently, and seeing your circumstances in a whole new light. This is not mere coincidence, it's a sign that God is working in your life, preparing you for the restoration you've been waiting for. When this shift happens, you may not even realize it at first. It's like the fog slowly lifting after a long dark period. You wake up one morning with a sense of clarity, as if you've broken free from the chains of your old way of thinking. Suddenly the weight you've been carrying, fear, doubt, or a sense of defeat, begins to feel lighter. You find yourself looking forward to the future rather than dreading it. The way you view your past also changes, no longer seeing it as a collection of failures, but rather as a series of lessons that have brought you to where you are now. This change in mindset is a divine reset. It's as if God has quietly but powerfully shifted your perception, allowing you to see things from a higher perspective. You begin to realize that your life is not defined by the mistakes you've made or the things you've lost, but by the possibilities that lie ahead. This shift changes everything: how you approach your goals, your relationships, and even your day-to-day thoughts. What was once a source of frustration or hopelessness now feels like a stepping stone toward your future success. You might start noticing that your thoughts are more aligned with the life you desire to create. Where once you believed that your circumstances were limiting you, now you see the potential for growth and change. The job you've been dreaming about, the relationships you've longed for, or the financial freedom you thought was unattainable now seem like real possibilities. The shift in your mindset allows you to see the abundance around you, even in the midst of challenges. You begin to understand that your thoughts are powerful, and by aligning them with your desires, you can manifest the life you've always wanted. This is also when you begin to feel more empowered. Where fear and doubt once reigned, now confidence and faith take their place. You may even find yourself thinking, "I can do this. I am capable. I am worthy of all that is good in this world." It's as if you've stepped into a new version of yourself, one that has shed the old limiting beliefs and embraced the truth of your potential. This is not just a mental shift, it's a spiritual awakening. You're moving from a mindset of lack and limitation to one of abundance and possibility. God is always working behind the scenes, and often He works by transforming our minds. The sudden shift you're experiencing is a sign that He's clearing the way for your restoration. He is helping you to see beyond the circumstances of today and into the future He has planned for you. As your mindset shifts, you begin to align more closely with His will for your life. You understand that the challenges you faced weren't meant to break you, but to refine you. Your trials have prepared you for this moment of clarity, this moment of awakening. You'll also notice that the things that once triggered you or caused you to react negatively no longer have the same power over you. Whether it's criticism, failure, or loss, these things no longer hold you back. You're able to view them with a sense of detachment, as temporary experiences on your journey, rather than permanent markers of your worth. With this newfound mindset, you become more resilient, more capable of handling the ups and downs of life without losing your peace or sense of direction. This shift in thinking is not just a fleeting feeling. It is the beginning of a new way of life. It marks the moment when your thoughts and beliefs begin to align with the reality that God is restoring in your life. What once felt out of reach now feels possible. What you once doubted now feels certain. This is a sign that the time of restoration is upon you, and you are stepping into a new season where all things are being made new. As you navigate through life, there comes a time when struggles seem to surround you from every direction. Life may not be going according to plan, and the weight of adversity can feel overwhelming. But amid these struggles, there is a profound shift that can occur. You begin to see opportunities where once you only saw obstacles. This shift is not something you can always control, yet it is often the first sign that restoration is about to unfold in your life. What once seemed like insurmountable challenges now start to look like stepping stones to a new, brighter future. In the past, when faced with adversity, you may have focused solely on the difficulty of the situation. The fear of failure, the uncertainty of the outcome, and the emotional toll of dealing with challenges often overshadowed the potential for growth that lay beneath. But now, as you face new struggles, you start to see things differently. The roadblocks that once seemed like dead ends now reveal paths you hadn't noticed before. You begin to realize that your struggles are not just burdens to bear, they are opportunities to grow, to learn, and to push beyond your current limitations. This shift is profound. Instead of becoming paralyzed by fear or discouragement, you start to approach challenges with curiosity and determination. You begin to see every difficulty as a chance to improve, a lesson waiting to be discovered. Whether it's a financial setback, a job loss, a personal conflict, or even a health issue, you now have the perspective to see the potential hidden within the struggle. This is the beginning of God's restoration in your life. He is opening your eyes to the possibilities that are often hidden behind the veil of hardship. With this new perspective, you may begin to notice how your struggles are aligning with your purpose. The experiences that once seemed like random misfortunes now seem to be part of a greater plan. Perhaps a job loss leads to a new opportunity that better suits your skills and passions. A failed relationship might teach you valuable lessons about self-love and boundaries, preparing you for a healthier partnership in the future. Even health challenges may push you to take better care of yourself and discover new ways to improve your overall well-being. What once felt like a series of unfortunate events now begins to feel like a series of divine interventions guiding you to a higher purpose. As you begin to see opportunities in the midst of struggles, you also start to attract new possibilities into your life. Your mindset becomes magnetic, drawing in the right people, the right circumstances, and the right experiences that support your growth. It's as if the universe is conspiring to align with your new way of thinking, and God is opening doors that were once closed. You begin to see that the struggles of your past were not wasted years, but were, in fact, preparing you for the abundant life that lies ahead. As you journey through life, there comes a time when your faith is tested in ways you never anticipated. These moments of testing often come when you least expect them, when everything seems to be falling apart, and you are left with nothing but uncertainty. But it is in these moments of trial and struggle that your faith begins to grow in ways it never could have before. It is as if you are being refined through the fire, being shaped into the person you were always meant to be, but in ways that demand your full trust and belief in something greater than yourself. When faith is tested, it often feels as if the ground beneath you is shaking. Things you once held onto firmly, your plans, your comfort, your understanding, begin to slip away. You are asked to trust in the unseen, to have faith in something beyond the immediate circumstances. It is a place of surrender, where you are no longer in control of the outcome, and the future feels uncertain. But this is exactly where growth happens. It is in these moments of vulnerability that your faith is stretched, tested, and ultimately strengthened. This testing can come in many forms. Perhaps it's a sudden loss, whether it be a loved one, a job, or a relationship that leaves you questioning everything. Or maybe it's a financial struggle that seems endless, a period where you wonder how you'll ever make it through. There are times when it feels as if the odds are stacked against you, and your faith is all that you have left. But even in these moments of doubt and fear, there is a deeper work being done within you. When your faith is tested, it forces you to confront your deepest beliefs and your true reliance on God. You may begin to ask yourself hard questions. Do I truly trust that everything will work out? Am I willing to let go of control and allow God to lead me through this storm? It's in these questions that you begin to find your answers. As you seek deeper understanding, you begin to see that faith is not just about believing when things are going well. True faith is about trusting when you have nothing but your belief in the unseen and your trust in a higher power that knows better than you what lies ahead. In these testing moments, you begin to realize that your faith is not just a passive belief but an active force. It is something that moves you, guides you, and strengthens you even in the most difficult of times. This is when your faith becomes real. It moves from a theoretical understanding to an experiential reality. As your faith is tested, you may feel a sense of discomfort, but you also feel a shift within you. You begin to understand that faith isn't just about asking for what you want or waiting for the storm to pass. It's about trusting that there is purpose in the process, and that every challenge you face is an opportunity for growth, for strengthening your belief, and for deepening your connection with God. As your faith is tested, you may also begin to see how God is using these moments to prepare you for the restoration that's about to come. You might not see it in the moment, but the testing of your faith is often the precursor to the breakthrough that lies ahead. Just as gold is refined in fire, your faith is refined through trials. It's in the moments of doubt and struggle that your character is built, your resilience is developed, and your trust in God deepens. You learn that every setback is not a failure but a lesson, and each lesson is preparing you for the blessings that are about to come. In times of testing, you might also discover the power of patience. The process of faith testing often requires you to wait, to endure, and to persevere, even when you don't see immediate results. But as you endure, you learn the true nature of trust, that even when you don't see how things will work out, you trust that God has a plan for you, and that plan is always for your good. You begin to realize that the waiting period is not wasted time, but time spent strengthening your faith, building your endurance, and preparing for the restoration that is about to unfold. Through it all, your faith becomes stronger. You move from simply believing to truly knowing that God is with you, even in the darkest moments. You start to see that every trial is not an obstacle, but an opportunity for your faith to grow. And as your faith grows, you become more aligned with the truth that God is always working on your behalf, even when you cannot see it. The testing of your faith is not something to fear, but something to embrace, for it is in these moments that you are being prepared for the amazing restoration that is coming your way. In the midst of external chaos, there is a peace that transcends all understanding. It is a quiet calm that arises from within, a stillness that no external circumstance can disrupt. Life has a way of throwing storms your way, testing your limits, and challenging your sense of stability. The world around you may be filled with noise, confusion, and unrest. But there is a deep inner peace that you begin to experience when you allow your heart to trust in something greater than the external conditions. This peace is not fleeting or circumstantial, it is the peace that surpasses all understanding, anchored in the faith that everything is unfolding as it should, even when the outer world appears chaotic. As you face struggles, uncertainties, and moments of trial, you might find that despite the external noise, there is a stillness within you that cannot be shaken. It is as if the more chaos surrounds you, the more you are drawn into the quietness of your soul. This deep inner peace is a sign that something powerful is at work in your life. It is a sign that you are being prepared for the restoration that is about to come. While the world may be spinning with uncertainty, you stand firm, rooted in a place of calm and trust. This inner peace does not mean the absence of challenges or struggles. On the contrary, it often emerges in the face of great adversity. It is in those moments when the world seems to be unraveling that you discover a sense of peace that has nothing to do with your circumstances. It is as though, in the midst of it all, you realize that you are not bound by what happens around you. You are grounded in a deeper truth, one that assures you that no matter how loud the storm becomes, you are anchored in something unshakable. What's remarkable about this peace is that it cannot be created by external circumstances. You can't force it or manufacture it through your own efforts. It is a gift that comes when you allow yourself to surrender to the present moment, trusting that the universe, or God, is in control. You might find that you no longer feel the need to control every situation or worry about every detail of your life. Instead, you trust that things are unfolding as they should, even when you cannot see the full picture. You realize that everything, even the chaotic moments, is working together for your highest good. This inner peace also teaches you the value of letting go. When the world is in turmoil, it is easy to become swept up in the anxiety and fear that surrounds you. But as you begin to experience this deep peace, you understand that there is no benefit in clinging to control or trying to change things that are beyond your influence. You learn to release the need for certainty and instead lean into the trust that everything will be okay. This act of surrender is liberating, and it is in that freedom that peace is found. You also begin to realize that this peace is a reflection of your trust in a divine plan. The more you trust in the unseen, the more you experience peace in the midst of adversity. When you let go of your need for control and trust that there is a higher purpose to everything, you start to see that your trials are not obstacles, but opportunities for growth. You start to recognize that each challenge is a stepping stone toward the restoration that is unfolding in your life. Even when things look uncertain, you trust that there is something greater at work, and that knowledge allows you to remain calm amidst the storm. As you continue to embrace this inner peace, you become more resilient to the chaos around you. The storms of life may still come, but they no longer have the power to rattle you in the way they once did. Your peace becomes a shield, protecting you from the anxiety and stress that the world tries to impose on you. You learn to navigate life with a sense of calm, knowing that no matter what happens, you are held, supported, and guided by a higher power. This inner peace also radiates outwards, influencing the people and situations around you. When you are calm and centered, you become a source of peace for others. Your presence becomes a reminder that no matter how loud the world gets, there is always a place of stillness within. In this peace, you are restored, and you are able to restore others. The more you cultivate this peace within yourself, the more you create space for it to expand into every area of your life. In the face of outer chaos, your deep inner peace is a clear sign that God is at work in your life, preparing you for something greater. It is a sign that the restoration of your wasted years is underway, and that peace is one of the first fruits of that divine restoration. As you hold on to this peace, you are not only transforming your own life, but you are becoming a beacon of hope and calm for the world around you. As you go through life, there comes a time when new people begin to enter your life, people who seem to show up just when you need them most. These new connections, whether they are friendships, romantic relationships, or professional acquaintances, carry with them the potential for growth, healing, and transformation. At first, these encounters might feel coincidental, but as you reflect on them, you begin to realize that they are part of a divine plan, a carefully orchestrated unfolding meant to guide you toward your next chapter. What makes these new relationships so significant is that they often show up during periods of transition. Perhaps you are emerging from a time of personal struggle, and these people arrive to help guide you into the next phase of your journey. Or maybe you've been seeking a deeper connection with others, and the universe is answering that desire by bringing the right individuals into your life. These people come not by accident, but because they are meant to play a role in your growth and your restoration. New relationships can feel like a breath of fresh air. They provide you with perspectives, experiences, and opportunities that you may not have encountered before. These new people may challenge your beliefs, push you to grow in ways you didn't expect, and open doors that lead to paths you hadn't considered. They introduce you to new ideas, new environments, and new ways of thinking that broaden your understanding of the world. These relationships, whether fleeting or long-lasting, become a catalyst for your transformation. One of the most powerful aspects of encountering new people is the sense of renewal they bring. Relationships have a unique ability to heal, especially when they offer a fresh start or a clean slate. Perhaps you've been carrying emotional baggage from past relationships, wounds that have held you back from fully embracing love, trust, or connection. But as these new people come into your life, they offer you a chance to begin again. They allow you to experience love and friendship without the weight of old expectations or disappointments. In many ways, they offer a clean slate, a new beginning that allows you to heal and grow from the inside out. These new relationships also have a way of awakening parts of you that you may have forgotten about. The people you encounter may bring out qualities in you that have lain dormant for a long time: creativity, joy, passion, or even strength. As you interact with them, you may find yourself rediscovering parts of your own identity that were hidden or overshadowed by past experiences. These people reflect back to you the potential you have within, and through their support and love, you begin to see yourself in a new light. You may begin to believe in yourself again, to trust that there is still so much more for you to experience and achieve. These relationships are not always easy, but they are always purposeful. Not every person who enters your life is meant to stay forever, but each one plays a significant role in your journey. Some relationships come as teachers, pushing you to confront old patterns, heal deep wounds, and step into a higher version of yourself. Others arrive as companions, providing comfort, support, and love during difficult times. Some may offer opportunities for growth, pushing you out of your comfort zone, while others provide stability, grounding you when life feels uncertain. The beauty of new relationships is that they allow you to be seen for who you truly are. In these fresh connections, there is no past judgment or history. You are not defined by your mistakes, your failures, or your past struggles. You are given the space to show up as your authentic self, free from the constraints of previous relationships or identities. This openness allows you to form deeper, more genuine connections that are based on who you are in the present moment, not on who you used to be. As you encounter new people, you begin to understand that you are not alone in this journey. You are surrounded by a community of souls who are all on their own paths of growth and transformation. These people may come from different walks of life, but their presence in your life is a reminder that you are connected to something larger than yourself. You begin to see that every encounter, no matter how brief, has the potential to teach you something valuable. The more you embrace these new relationships, the more you realize that they are part of a larger process of restoration, helping you heal, grow, and move forward into a life that is richer, fuller, and more aligned with your true purpose. In encountering new people and relationships, you also start to recognize the power of divine timing. These connections come into your life at the right time, when you are ready to receive them. They are not forced, rushed, or artificial. They emerge naturally, as if they were always meant to be. This understanding of divine timing helps you relax and trust in the process, knowing that every relationship you encounter is part of a greater unfolding that is leading you toward your restoration. These new people are not only helping you heal, but they are also helping you align with your higher self and your divine purpose. As you move forward, these relationships will continue to shape, support, and guide you on your journey to restoration and transformation. When you look back on your past, it's easy to see your failures as something negative or as moments of regret. These failures might have been painful, discouraging, or disappointing, and it's natural to feel disheartened by them. However, if you shift your perspective, you begin to see that these past failures are not roadblocks, but stepping stones that are preparing you for something greater. They are lessons disguised as challenges, each one carrying with it valuable wisdom that you can use to navigate your future. Every failure you've encountered holds within it a lesson that can help you avoid the same pitfalls in the future. These lessons are not always immediately clear, and sometimes it takes time for their full significance to unfold. But when you start to view your failures through the lens of growth and possibility, you begin to realize that they were never meant to hold you back. They were meant to teach you how to move forward more wisely, more powerfully, and more equipped to face the future. Your past failures are like the training ground for your success. Think of them as the test that prepared you for the bigger challenges ahead. If you were to achieve success without experiencing failure, you would miss the invaluable insights that only come from falling down, getting up, and learning along the way. Failures force you to reassess your approach, your beliefs, and your strategies. They teach you resilience, patience, and the importance of persistence. Each setback forces you to adjust, learn, and grow, which is precisely what makes you stronger. When you embrace the lessons within your failures, you also develop a deeper sense of self-awareness. You begin to understand your own patterns, behaviors, and thought processes, and you can see where you went wrong in the past. This awareness allows you to make better choices moving forward. You become more attuned to the signals of life and the choices you need to make, so you can avoid repeating the same mistakes. In this way, your past failures become invaluable guides on your journey, showing you where you can improve, where you need to change, and where you have already succeeded. As you learn from your past failures, you also learn to release the guilt or shame that may have been attached to them. Instead of carrying the weight of regret, you begin to view your mistakes with compassion and understanding. You realize that they were a necessary part of your journey, not something to be ashamed of. When you accept that failure is an inevitable part of life, you release the fear of it, and in doing so, you free yourself from the paralysis that fear can cause. You become empowered by the knowledge that failure is not final. It is simply a part of the process, a lesson that brings you closer to your ultimate goal. What's truly transformative is the shift in mindset that occurs when you see your past failures as lessons for the future. You start to approach life differently. Rather than fearing failure, you embrace it as a tool for growth. You take risks, try new things, and push yourself beyond your comfort zone, knowing that if you stumble along the way, you will learn something valuable. You become more willing to fail because you understand that with each failure, you are one step closer to success. As you gain wisdom from your past, you begin to develop an unshakable faith in your ability to overcome obstacles. You no longer see setbacks as signs of your incompetence or inadequacy. Instead, you see them as opportunities to refine your skills, deepen your character, and gain clarity. This faith in your ability to learn from the past enables you to approach future challenges with confidence and poise. You no longer fear the unknown because you know that no matter what happens, you will emerge wiser and more capable. Your past failures also provide you with a unique perspective that can benefit others. As you share your journey with others, you are able to offer guidance and insight based on the lessons you've learned through your own struggles. Your experiences become a source of strength not only for you, but for those who are navigating similar challenges. You become a beacon of hope for others, showing them that failure is not something to be feared, but something that can be used to propel them toward their own success. Your past failures are not a sign of defeat, but a testament to your perseverance, growth, and resilience. Each lesson learned is a building block that lays the foundation for your future. The wisdom gained from those experiences will guide you, help you make better decisions, and give you the strength to face whatever comes your way. When you understand that failure is an essential part of the journey, you begin to embrace life fully, knowing that every experience, whether it is a success or a failure, has something valuable to teach you. You can let go of the past and move forward with renewed faith and confidence, ready to create a future that is shaped by the lessons of your past. There are moments in life when everything seems to align perfectly, as though the universe or a higher power is guiding you step by step. This sense of divine timing, though often subtle, can be one of the most profound experiences you'll ever have. It's the feeling that things are happening for a reason, at exactly the right moment, and that all the events in your life, both big and small, are unfolding in a way that is meant to bring you closer to your true purpose. Divine timing isn't something that can be forced or rushed. It operates on its own schedule, one that often defies human logic or understanding. At times, it may feel as though you've been waiting forever for a breakthrough or a shift in your circumstances, but then out of nowhere, everything falls into place at once. This often comes after a period of uncertainty or struggle, when you begin to question whether things will ever change. But when the right opportunities or the right people appear, you realize that every delay, every challenge, and every waiting period was necessary for this moment to happen. The beauty of divine timing lies in its ability to show you that you're exactly where you need to be, even if it doesn't seem that way at first. You may have spent years working toward a goal, only to have it feel out of reach or unattainable. But when the time is right, it arrives not a moment too soon, not a moment too late. This sense of timing is not just about the external world coming together, but also about your internal alignment. It's a feeling of being in sync with life, a sense that you are finally on the path you were meant to walk, at the precise time you were meant to walk it. When divine timing operates in your life, it often leads to a deep sense of peace and trust. It allows you to release the pressure of trying to control everything and embrace the flow of life. Instead of forcing things to happen or worrying about what comes next, you start to trust that what is meant for you will come to you in due time. You begin to understand that timing is everything, and that there is no need to rush, because life is unfolding exactly as it should. This trust in divine timing also brings a sense of freedom. It frees you from the constant need to strive and struggle, believing that you must do everything yourself to make things happen. Instead, you begin to surrender to the process, knowing that there are forces at work beyond your understanding. When you let go of the need to control the outcome, you find that the universe works in your favor, presenting you with opportunities, connections, and experiences that you might not have even imagined. Divine timing often reveals itself through synchronicities, those moments when seemingly unrelated events come together in a way that feels purposeful and meaningful. You may meet someone at exactly the right moment who opens a door for you, or you may come across a piece of information that suddenly makes everything clear. These moments feel like magic, and they are a direct reflection of the divine timing at play in your life. You begin to notice the subtle signs and signals that indicate you are exactly where you need to be, and that everything is unfolding as it should. The most important thing about experiencing divine timing is that it requires patience and faith. The waiting period can be challenging, especially when you are unsure of when or how things will shift. But during these times, the key is to trust the process. Every setback, every delay, every moment of uncertainty is part of the journey. It's preparing you for the breakthrough that's coming. And when it does arrive, it will feel as though the timing was absolutely perfect. Divine timing also teaches you the power of letting go of expectations. When you release the need for things to happen on your own timetable, you open yourself up to the unexpected blessings that life has in store for you. The more you align with this flow, the more you begin to see that everything is happening for your highest good. This deeper understanding allows you to embrace life with more grace, knowing that even in moments of hardship, divine timing is at work, guiding you toward your greatest potential. Experiencing a sense of divine timing is about embracing the idea that life is not happening to you, but with you. It's about recognizing that every moment, every encounter, and every experience is part of a much larger tapestry that is being woven with care and intention. When you begin to understand and trust this, you stop feeling rushed. Stop feeling like you're missing out. And start appreciating the perfect timing of the universe in all aspects of your life. You realize that you are never late, that you are always exactly where you need to be, and that every moment is leading you to the next great chapter of your journey. As we reflect on these signs, we come to understand that the restoration of your wasted year isn't just about the passing of time, it's about the transformative power of divine timing, faith, and personal growth. Each of the 7 signs we've explored reveals the incredible journey you're on, a journey that's guided by a higher power and infused with lessons, opportunities, and growth. Whether it's the increasing desire for change, the shift in mindset, or the newfound peace amidst chaos, every experience is aligning you with the life you've been destined to lead. It's not about how long things take or the struggles you face along the way. It's about trusting the process, embracing the lessons, and knowing that everything is happening for a reason. The restoration of your year is a reminder that the universe works in its own time, and that everything you've been through has prepared you for the abundant blessings ahead. I want to thank you for being here today, for taking the time to reflect, and for opening your heart to the message of restoration and divine timing. May this moment mark the beginning of a new chapter in your life, where everything falls into place and you step into the fullness of your purpose. Trust that your time is now, and what is meant for you will never pass you by. Thank you.
Life often feels like an endless pursuit of fulfillment, a race where every stride feels heavy and every milestone seems just out of reach. We're constantly told to do more, strive harder, and push ourselves beyond our limits. But what if I told you that your breakthroughs don't lie in doing more? Sometimes the greatest transformations happen when we stop repeating patterns that sabotage us, stop feeding mindsets that hinder us, and stop behaviors that quietly steal our joy and potential. This is about reclaiming your life by recognizing what no longer serves you. It's about shedding the unnecessary weights that drag you down and stepping into a lighter, freer, and more intentional existence. There are 4 things, specific yet universal, that most of us unknowingly do every single day, 4 things that are keeping us from the life we truly desire. But you'll not only know what these are, but you'll also feel empowered to let go of them immediately. Because once you do, the life you've been chasing will no longer be just a dream. It will start flowing toward you with ease. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt like you're stuck in quicksand? The harder you try, the deeper you sink. You set goals, chase dreams, and yet something always feels off. You're working hard, maybe even harder than those around you, but the results don't reflect your effort. Why? The answer is deceptively simple. It's not what you're doing. It's what you refuse to stop doing. You see, success isn't just about action. It's also about elimination, removing the roadblocks, the habits, the beliefs that quietly sabotage your every step. But here's the twist: the things holding you back are often invisible to you. They're so ingrained in your routine, your mind, your identity, that you don't even question them anymore. They've become a part of your story, whispered by fear, reinforced by doubt, and validated by a world that thrives on conformity. What if I told you that the very behaviors you think are helping you might actually be hurting you? That they're not tools, but chains. And that with every passing day, those chains grow heavier, not because life is against you, but because you're holding on to what no longer serves you. In the next few moments, I'll reveal 4 things you must stop doing immediately. Not tomorrow, not when it's convenient. Now, because these 4 things are costing you your dreams, your peace, and your power. The moment you let them go, you'll feel a shift not just in how you move through the world, but in how the world moves toward you. But I must warn you, recognizing these 4 things might make you uncomfortable. Change always does. It's not easy to admit that we've been our own biggest obstacles, but discomfort is the birthplace of growth. If you lean into it, you'll find a clarity that will change your life forever. Stay with me, because by the end of this, You won't just understand what's been holding you back, you'll be ready to break free. One of the most subtle yet destructive ways we sabotage ourselves is by saying yes when deep down we mean no. Every time you agree to something that feels wrong in your gut, you're betraying yourself. You're handing over a piece of your time, energy, and spirit to something that doesn't align with your values, your desires, or your purpose. And here's the truth, those pieces add up. The more you give away, the less of yourself you have left. Why do we do this? Fear. Fear of rejection. Fear of rejection. Fear of disappointing others. Fear of being seen as selfish. But let me tell you something, it's not selfish to protect your peace. It's not selfish to say no to what drains you so you can say yes to what fuels you. In fact, it's one of the greatest acts of self-respect. When you constantly say yes out of obligation or guilt, you're allowing others to dictate your life. You're handing over your power and letting someone else write your story. You're telling the universe that your needs and dreams come second. And when you do that, don't be surprised when the world treats you as an afterthought. But when you start saying no, something incredible happens. You reclaim your boundaries. You create space for what truly matters. You tell the world and yourself that your time and energy are valuable. It's not easy at first. You might feel guilty. People might push back, especially those who have grown accustomed to your constant availability. But remember, every no you give to something that doesn't serve you is a yes to something greater. Think about this. How many times have you said yes to avoid conflict, only to feel resentment later? That resentment isn't just a feeling, it's a message. It's your soul telling you that you strayed from your truth. Listen to that voice. It's there to guide you. The most successful, fulfilled people in the world aren't afraid to say no. They understand that their energy is finite and precious. They know that every time they say yes to something, they're saying no to something else. The question is, what are you willing to sacrifice? Your dreams, your peace, your authenticity? Start small. Practice saying no to one thing today that doesn't align with your values or goals. Feel the discomfort and let it pass. Because on the other side of that discomfort is freedom. The freedom to live life on your terms. The freedom to prioritize what truly matters. The freedom to be unapologetically you. Comparison is a thief. It steals your joy, your peace, and your sense of self. It's the silent enemy that creeps into your mind every time you scroll through social media, see someone else's success, or witness someone achieving what you think you deserve. But here's the truth: comparison is a lie. It tricks you into believing that someone else's journey is more valuable than your own. It blinds you to your unique path and makes you forget the magic that resides within you. Why do we compare ourselves? Because we've been conditioned to measure our worth based on external achievements. From a young age, we're taught to compete, to rank ourselves, to believe that life is a zero-sum game. But life isn't a race, it's a masterpiece. And every masterpiece is unique. Comparing yourself to someone else is like comparing a sunrise to a starry night. Both are breathtaking in their own way, and neither diminishes the beauty of the other. When you compare, you're focusing on the surface. You see someone's highlight reel and compare it to your behind-the-scenes struggles. You see their victories, but not the battles they fought to get there. You see their confidence, but not the doubts that haunt them at night. You see their success, but not the failures that paved their way. Understand this: your journey is yours alone. No one else has lived your life, faced your challenges, or dreamed your dreams. No one else has your perspective, your talents, or your potential. When you compare yourself to others, you're diminishing the uniqueness that makes you extraordinary. You're saying, what they have is better than what I can create, but that's not true. What you can create is unmatched because it comes from you. The key to breaking free from comparison is gratitude. Focus on what you have, not what you lack. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small. Every step forward is a victory. Every lesson learned is a gift. Every moment of growth is a testament to your resilience. When you focus on your own journey, you'll realize that you have everything you need to succeed. The people you're comparing yourself to aren't your competition, they're your proof that it's possible. If they can achieve greatness, so can you. Use their success as inspiration, not as a measure of your worth, because your worth isn't. One of the most insidious habits we fall into is seeking validation from others. We crave their approval, their acknowledgement, their praise. We measure our worth by the words and actions of those around us, as though their opinion holds the key to our self-esteem. But let me tell you this, no one's validation will ever fill the void inside you. That void can only be filled by recognizing your own worth. Why do we seek validation? Because we've been taught that our value is external. From childhood, we've been rewarded for pleasing others, for meeting expectations, for earning approval. Over time, we internalize the belief that we are only enough when someone else tells us so. But chasing validation is a losing game. It keeps you running on a treadmill, expending energy without ever reaching a destination. Here's the truth: the approval you seek from others is a reflection of the approval you've withheld from yourself. When you don't believe in your own worth, you outsource that responsibility to the people around you. But their validation is fleeting. It can lift you momentarily, but it will never sustain you. And the moment it's withdrawn, you're left questioning your value all over again. You must stop handing over the power to define your worth. Your value is not up for debate. It's not something others can grant or take away. It exists because you exist. The very fact that you are here, breathing, living, dreaming, is proof of your inherent worth. No one else's opinion can change that. When you seek validation, you give others control over your life. You make choices based on what will please them, not what will fulfill you. You shrink yourself to fit their expectations, even when it feels wrong in your soul. And in doing so, you abandon the most important relationship you'll ever have, the one with yourself. Start practicing self-validation. Look in the mirror and affirm your own worth. Celebrate your achievements, no matter how small. Trust your instincts and honor your desires. When you stop seeking validation from others, you'll find a freedom you've never known. You'll move through life with confidence, unshaken by criticism and untouched by praise. Because you'll know that your worth doesn't depend on anyone else, it's a truth you carry within you. The past has a way of clinging to us, doesn't it? We replay our mistakes, relive our regrets, and let our failures define us. But dwelling on past failures is like carrying a heavy backpack full of stones. You'll never move forward if you're weighed down by what's behind you. The more you focus on the past, the more you allow it to dictate your present and future. It's time to put the backpack down. Why do we dwell on failure? Because failure stings. It bruises our ego and shakes our confidence. We think, if I just analyze it enough, I'll figure out where I went wrong. But there's a fine line between learning from the past and living in it. Reflection is productive, rumination is paralyzing. When you constantly relive your failures, you're not learning, you're imprisoning yourself in a cycle of self-doubt. The truth is, failure is not the end of the road. It's a detour. It's a teacher. Every failure carries a lesson, but it's up to you to extract it and move on. The longer you dwell, the longer you delay your growth. Understand this: failure is proof that you tried, that you stepped out of your comfort zone, that you dared to dream. It's not a mark of shame, it's a badge of courage. Your past failures don't define you. They are chapters in your story, not the whole book. You are not the same person you were when you failed. You are wiser, stronger, and more resilient. Every time you fall, you rise with more knowledge and perspective than before. But to embrace that growth, you must let go of the pain, the regret, and the what-ifs. Think about it: the most successful people in the world have failed, often spectacularly. They didn't let those failures stop them. They used them as stepping stones to greater heights. You can do the same. The key is to stop seeing failure as an ending and start seeing it as a beginning. Overthinking is the silent killer of dreams. It's that incessant voice in your head that second guesses every decision, analyzes every possibility, and conjures up every worst-case scenario. Overthinking doesn't solve problems, it creates them. It keeps you stuck in a loop of doubt and fear, paralyzing you from taking the very actions that could transform your life. Why do we overthink? because we fear making mistakes. We want to avoid pain, disappointment, or failure. But in trying to predict and control every outcome, we end up doing nothing. And doing nothing is the greatest failure of all. Life isn't meant to be lived in your head, it's meant to be experienced with all its messiness, uncertainty, and beauty. The truth is, you'll never have all the answers. You'll never know every possible outcome. And that's okay. Certainty is an illusion. What matters is that you take action despite the uncertainty, because action is what creates clarity. The more you move forward, the clearer the path becomes. But you'll never see that path if you're stuck in the quicksand of overthinking. Think about how much time and energy you waste replaying the same scenarios in your mind. What if you redirected that energy toward action? What if, instead of analyzing every possible outcome, you trusted yourself to handle whatever happens? You are far more capable than you give yourself credit for. You've overcome challenges before, and you'll overcome them again. Trust in your ability to adapt and grow. Overthinking robs you of the present moment. While your mind is busy spinning in circles, life is happening right in front of you. Opportunities are passing by. Joy is being overlooked. Don't let the fear of making a wrong decision prevent you from making any decision at all. Even a wrong decision teaches you something valuable. It moves you forward. It's better than standing still. The antidote to overthinking is action. Start small. Make one decision today without agonizing over it. Commit to it fully, no matter the outcome. With every decision you make, you'll build confidence in yourself. You'll realize that you don't need to have everything figured out, you just need to keep moving forward. Life rewards those who take bold steps, not those who hesitate at the edge. Let go of the need to overthink. Trust yourself. Take the leap. The life you're dreaming of is waiting for you, but you have to stop thinking and start living. Fear is a powerful force. It whispers in your ear, warning you of danger, failure, and rejection. It convinces you to stay small, to avoid risk, to play it safe. But fear, while it feels real, is often just a mirage. It's a projection of your mind, not a reflection of reality. And when you let fear control your actions, you're giving it the power to dictate your life. Why do we let fear take the reins? Because it's uncomfortable to face it. Fear taps into our deepest insecurities and vulnerabilities. It makes us question our worth and our abilities. But here's the truth: fear isn't meant to stop you, it's meant to guide you. It points you toward the areas where you need to grow. It shows you where your greatest opportunities lie. When you let fear control your actions, you're not avoiding failure, you're guaranteeing it. The opportunities you miss, the chances you don't take, the dreams you leave unexplored, they are the true failures. Fear might keep you safe, but it also keeps you small. And you were not born to play small. You were born to expand, to create, to thrive. The key to overcoming fear is not to eliminate it, but to act in spite of it. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the decision to move forward even when fear is present. Every time you face a fear, you shrink its power over you. You prove to yourself that you are stronger than the limitations your mind tries to impose. Think about the times in your life when you were most alive, most fulfilled. Were they moments of comfort, or were they moments when you stepped out of your comfort zone? Growth happens on the other side of fear. Every great achievement, every profound transformation, every bold decision, it all begins with the courage to face fear head-on. Fear is a natural part of the human experience. It will always be there, but you have a choice. Will you let it hold you back, or will you let it propel you forward? The life you want, the dreams you carry, the person you aspire to be, they're all waiting for you on the other side of fear. But you have to take the first step. Stop letting fear control your actions. Feel the fear, acknowledge it, and then move forward anyway. Because every time you do, you're not just overcoming fear, you're reclaiming your power. And that power is what will take you to places you've never imagined. Comparison is the thief of joy. It's the silent destroyer of confidence, ambition, and peace of mind. When you compare yourself to others, you're fighting a losing battle because you're measuring your life against an illusion. What you see of others is only the surface, a carefully curated snapshot of their reality. But what you see of yourself is the whole, unfiltered truth. And that truth, my friend, is more than enough. Why do we compare ourselves to others? Because society trains us to. From a young age, we're taught to measure success, beauty, and worth against others. Social media has only magnified this tendency, bombarding us with highlight reels that make us feel like we're falling behind. But here's what you need to remember: someone else's success does not diminish your own. Someone else's path has nothing to do with yours. You are running a race that no one else can compete in, because your journey is uniquely yours. When you compare yourself to others, you're not just wasting time, you're robbing yourself of your own potential. You're focusing on what they have instead of appreciating what you've built. You're letting envy cloud your vision, distracting you from your own growth. Every moment spent comparing is a moment lost from creating, achieving, and becoming the person you're meant to be. Think about this: no one else has your exact talents, dreams, or experiences. No one else sees the world the way you do, and no one else can accomplish what you're here to accomplish. The very act of comparison ignores this fundamental truth. It forces you to overlook your own brilliance and try to mold yourself into someone else's image. But you were not designed to be a copy. You were designed to stand out. Breaking free from comparison starts with gratitude. Focus on what you have, what you've achieved, and what you're capable of. Celebrate your small victories. Remind yourself that your journey is unfolding exactly as it's meant to. Instead of comparing yourself to others, compare yourself to who you were yesterday. That's the only competition that matters, becoming a better version of yourself every single day. When you stop comparing, you'll discover a freedom you've never known. You'll stop feeling less than and start embracing your more than. You'll realize that your worth isn't tied to someone else's success. It's inherent, it's untouchable, and it's yours. How many dreams have you delayed because you're waiting for the perfect moment? How many opportunities have you let slip by because you didn't feel ready? The idea of perfection is a trap. It convinces you that you need all the stars to align before you can take action. But let me tell you a truth that will set you free. There is no perfect moment. The perfect moment is the one you create by starting right now. Why do we wait for perfection? Because we're afraid of failure, rejection, or imperfection. We think, if I wait until everything is just right, I can avoid the risk. But in reality, waiting doesn't eliminate risk, it multiplies it. The longer you wait, the more you overthink, the more you hesitate, and the more opportunities you let pass by. Perfectionism isn't a shield, it's a cage. The truth is, you'll never feel 100% ready. You'll never have all the answers or all the resources. But you don't need to. Progress doesn't come from perfection, it comes from action. Every step you take, no matter how small or imperfect, brings you closer to your goals. Waiting for the perfect moment keeps you stagnant, but embracing the imperfect moment propels you forward. Think about the people you admire, the innovators, the leaders, the dreamers. Did they wait for everything to be perfect before they started? No. They took the leap, often before they felt ready. They embraced the unknown and trusted themselves to figure it out along the way. And that's what you must do too. The world doesn't reward perfection, it rewards persistence. It rewards those who take risks, who dare to fail, who show up even when it's messy and uncertain. The perfect moment isn't a point in time, it's a mindset. It's the decision to act, to start, to move forward despite the imperfections. So stop waiting. Start writing that book. Launch that business. Pursue that dream. You don't need the perfect moment, you just need the courage to begin. Because once you take the first step, you'll realize that the path unfolds as you walk it. The momentum you create will carry you further than any perfect plan ever could. And before you know it, you'll be living the life you were waiting for. But it all starts with one imperfect, beautiful step. We've journeyed through 4 critical things you must stop doing immediately to unlock the life you desire: doubting yourself, seeking validation from others, overthinking every decision, letting fear control your actions, comparing yourself to others, and waiting for the perfect moment. Each of these habits is like an anchor, holding you back from the vast ocean of possibilities that await you. But the good news is, you hold the power to cut those anchors loose. Life isn't waiting for you to be ready, to feel perfect, or to get someone else's approval. Life is waiting for you to decide. Decide that you are enough as you are. Decide that your dreams are worth the risk. Decide that your happiness isn't tied to anyone else's perception or timeline. Understand this every moment you hesitate. Every time you cling to doubt, fear, or comparison, you're letting your power slip away. You are more capable, resilient, and extraordinary than you give yourself credit for. The time to act is not tomorrow. It's not when things feel easier or less scary. It's now. If you let go of these 4 habits, you'll find a freedom you've never known. You'll discover that you are not bound by circumstances or other people's opinions. You are bound only by the limits you place on yourself. Release those limits. Step into the life that's been waiting for you all along. So I leave you with this: you are the author of your story. No one else can write it for you. And the best chapters, the ones filled with triumph, growth, and joy, begin when you stop holding yourself back. Take the pen, take the leap, and write the masterpiece your life was always meant to be. Now go, live boldly, and take your rightful place in the world. The stage is yours.